Hello, good evening. Welcome to November the 27th. Several days now for Thanksgiving. You probably have a full stomach still. I know that I do. But I also have a headache, and I do not know why. I do not feel very well, but I have not recorded any videos for a little while, so I thought that I would try to get some recorded tonight just to a sense of accomplishment. For all the 25 subscribers that I have are probably waiting with bated breath to see what I am going to do next, right? Anyway, well, I do have three lessons to teach you first. However, number one. So I was at a card show a couple weeks ago, and I bought this. I love these old cards. These wild cards, Premier Edition 2000. No wait, 1991. Was that what it was? It was like 50 bucks. And I bought the basketball version some time ago. And they had like a mixture of former college stars with like Hall of Famers, but like wearing like playing in Europe or something with like different kinds of colored jerseys. But then some of them were like Pete Chilcutt from North Carolina in a Tar Heels jersey. The rules surrounding, I guess, usage of uh, player likenesses and whether or not you're paying licensing fees to the universities or whatnot. It was probably really, it was like the frontier times back then, that's my guess. But anyway, so I always like those. Those are cool, goofy little cards. Uh, this is the football version. I think, as far as I know, is the only version for football, college football, I should say. And they're really cool and cool cards. All right, there's a guy named Tom Backles. Yep, from OU, from Oklahoma, wearing a student uniform. Go Pokes! But also check out check that mullet out. My goodness, it's glorious. Anyway, um, there's a couple of interesting players. Two guys you might have heard of. Barry Sanders and Brett Favre both have cards in this set. Interestingly enough. Um, but anyway, I think there are a lot of mostly seniors in college. Um, and then for whatever reason, people like Barry Sanders who graduated after 1991. I don't know. But anyway, so these are great. Lessons to be learned here, though, are the ink on these tends to lead to what is known as bricking if they sit long enough. Like these things, this is probably like five cards. They're all stuck together because the ink that they used was not the best ink. And you're going to find these type of cards. You'll know them all through the 90s, and they brick up because they just if they're older, they I guess sit in a warehouse, get a little warm, and ink starts to melt, and you just have to separate them like makes a little popping sound like that. Tony Covington, and they leave little marks, very tiny, tiny little marks. Some of them more tiny than others, or I should say larger than others. But like, there's that. Ding, ding. And you can see at the very bottom there, kind of like a little those white lines. It's the ink pulling off the paper. Um, now you can get these signed, but those ink, uh, the ink that they use in these cards it'll hold the signature, but it will rub off like that. Jimmy Carter, Floyd Field. I got two of these people beats me. This guy with the Arizona State. James Joseph. I actually remember James Joseph a bit. He was a running back for Auburn. But anyway, so just be wary of those cards starting around 1991 um, that are getting away from just the cardboard that you're used to seeing with old tops, and they're kind of going with a different kind of paper, different kind of ink. It tends to brick. So if you ever buy one of these old boxes from a card store, make sure that you are an understanding with the owner that you know if these things come out and they're all bricked up and they're worthless. I mean, they're never going to grade out if there's. The only thing they're good for is maybe such one like ours to get signatures on them, but they're not going to be your top quality cards, so don't pay too much for them. Second lesson, this is an easy one. When you are sending mail to the United Kingdom for Patrick Harrington, do not use a United States stamp. Use a International Forever stamp. And this guy's like, postage man is like, yeah, you owe us 84 cents. But so there's, luckily the one opened, the SASC is still closed, so this cost me another stamp to readdress it. No big deal. I've got a number of international stamps that I've already paid for. Third and final lesson, and these are just, man, sometimes good things happen to bad people. The United States Postal Service cares, because this is what can happen. Ooh, my goodness. And this one too. If it gets caught in the machine or gets wet, they just happen, man. They're, I guess if you want to insure them, you can get your money back, but how are you going to replace that? That is a 1975 Phillies team card. You're not. I'm lucky that I have this in the card saver, which is what I keep all my team cards in. These things, this is great, man. I got so many cool names on here. More room to you. Gene Garber, Jim Lombard, Bob Boone, Rich Hebner, Larry Boa, allegedly Mike Schmidt, who knows, Randy Lurch, Dave Johnson, Dale Unser, Ted Sizemore, Tom Hutton, Tom Harmon, I think it's Barry Foote, and Greg Luzinski. You can see I'm running out of room. I think I'm going to retire this card. I don't even know if there's really a good place to put a Carlton signature on the front. I'm not going to pay $40 for a mini Carlton signature. So anyway, um, just make sure that you have these included. If you don't want to, if you want to avoid this, the best bet is to include the card saver in your envelope, and hopefully they send it back in the card saver as well to avoid this. I got extremely lucky with this one. You figure just the time it takes to collect, I don't know, what is this, 12 signatures? And the money it takes to collect 12 signatures. That's 24 stamps and envelopes and paper. And every single time you put this, once you get it past about 5 or 6 signatures, every time you put one of these in the mail, I mean, who knows? It could happen to this. It could happen. It could happen. So there's your lessons. Here endeth the lesson. Is the best Sean Connery voice. All right. Well, in the last week, so I'm just going to power through them in a series of videos. All right, you with me? Live from Boston, Massachusetts. Wonder who it is. It is. Oh, that's a good one, I guess. Ken Reynolds, 74 Tops, former Philly. Really good signature. He knows what he's doing. He included my letter. Usually, sometimes they write notes. Sometimes I just include them as protection. That's what it was. It's just my letter here. But hey, man, thank you, Mr. Reynolds. And you can put a penny sleeve in there and hope they use them. You're going to get about a 30% return rate there, I think. Another from Boston. How many in a row can we get from Boston? And a card saver. Oh, this is a good one. It's a really good one. Yeah, really, really good one. This is a guy named George Bird, 1970 Tops, from the Bills. Butch Bird, but it's I guess George Butch Bird. But what the real good was this. These quads they sold back in, I guess, 69. This has already had Willie West and Ken Herrick on there. I know. Bird. These were like, you can see they're perforated. They were like stamped, so they're extremely fragile, which is why you always send those with perforations in one of these. And he did. George Bird did. Great. I think Gino Capoletti, I don't think he's no longer with us. But 3 of the 4 on the 69, or maybe 70, I don't remember. Tops quad, that's pretty awesome. Those quads are really cool to get. The string of Boston is over in favor of Augusta. Augusta, Georgia, not Augusta. Wait, that is Augusta, where the Masters is. And also, Montego Cummings. Montego's a relatively new-ish player that signs new-ish cards. Well, 20 years old, I guess. This is 2000 card. Really nice, though. Really nice and shiny. Montego, I know he had a lot of returns. Registered on sportscardforum.com. I'm glad that I was one of them. And he's also knows what he's doing and is very kind. He had these little pieces of paper in here on I guess he didn't put them in the holders, but he did put them in paper so that they would be protected. Montego, you're a solid man, gentlemen, and solid. Next, straight out of Tacoma, over the SeaTac Airport, before you're flying into Seattle. You've been to Tacoma, and oh, this is cool. I guess it's Scott Hatteberg. I think I said this a long time ago. It's already been signed by a gentleman named Corey Bailey for the Sox. Scott Hatteberg, of course, the famous. I mean, Brad Pitt played him in a movie. Moneyball. His featured in Moneyball. Um, Pretty great. That's a great double. Thank you, Scott. Las Vegas, home of the soon-to-be Las Vegas A's. I guess they're going to keep the names. This is mini, small one. Oh, cool. Mike Davis. These 1986 Fleer miniatures are great. You can get a complete set of them for $20 on eBay. Mike Davis, really generous. Had a really great year. 24 bombs, 82 ribbies, 24 bags, hit 280. Davis is a solid player. And I started collecting that set. It just kind of here and there. It's just kind of a side set. Kansas City, home of some pretty good barbecue. Also saw Bruce Springsteen in Kansas City recently. But this is not so much. Oh no, boo. This is sad. Lou Skizis came back without a signature. I recently got a signature, but I collected a letter. I hate when I get these letters because sometimes you do. Dear Gasper family, this is dated the 21st of November. Thank you for your interest in obtaining an autograph from Lou Skizis. Lou is my father, and he passed away on November the 17th, only 10 days ago. Consequently, I am returning your baseball cards. Louis Skizis. No, that's terrible. I had a video at one of my first ones talking about death, and it's just when you're chasing these old timers, you're going to run across that. I think I had a 57 Lou and maybe a 1959 Lou already signed, so I got him. He was generous enough to sign some cards for me before his passing. But he's not with us any longer. That's very sad. Next, on that high note, we're going back to Augusta. Who is from Augusta this time? Oh, interesting. You know who's from Augusta? Randy Edmonds. That is a great signature on my 1970 Topps. Played for the Dolphins. Here's what makes it interesting: is he included a signed and notarized, or not notarized, signed and noted index card. Randy Edmonds, Dolphins 68-70, Pats 1971, Colts 1972. So my guess is he must have played in the. Did he play with us in the Super Bowl in '72? I'm not sure if he played. I'm not sure if he played in the Super Bowl with the Dolphins. He was not on the undefeated team. No. Anyway, thanks, Randy. That's pretty awesome. All right, we're at 15 minutes. I'm going to sign off this, load it onto YouTube, and I'll be back with number two for the evening. All right, thanks, guys.